Hello, my little munchkins, crones, and sunflowers. How are you on this fine Monday evening? Well, I hope your day is copacetic, but with no further ado, let's just get into it. What are we talking about? New Jersey, baby. Yes. Crone. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, baby.
Yes. So first,
we need to light the magic.
Yes, we do. Oh, I forgot your crystal. It will be in the tarot reading that comes up next. But speaking of New Housewives of New Jersey, Dolores and her ex-husband, Frank, they have this thing where it's like a family tradition that they've been apparently doing for 30 years where they have family dinners together and how
lunches, brunches, stuff like that.
Yeah. And Brittany couldn't make it and Paul couldn't make it. So it was just
So they had 3 children together.
Yeah.
I still think, okay, go ahead.
No, there was 2 kids at that table.
Right, so it was 2 missing. So I don't know if he had children by others or whatever, but okay.
Yes.
I know Frankie is one, the oldest boy. But go ahead.
Yes, and Frank was talking about how he wants to propose to his fiancée Brittany, and he got down in the middle of a restaurant and was like, here, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to act it out with you. And Dolores said yes. And then everybody cheered. And then she was just like, hold up, he's marrying somebody else.
That is so horrible. I wouldn't want the ring. How dare you? Clearly, you're not over Dolores. Mm-hmm. And why Dolores do that? She's always adamant about no, Frank, no, Frank. But you do that? Would you want a woman to do that to you? I'm appalled by that. That's bad luck. How in the world you go? And I'm done with that. Go ahead, baby.
It really showed their dynamic. You could clearly tell. He's not over his ex Dolores. Clearly. I mean, I said that last season or last episode when he came to his wife and ex-wife and Paul saying, yeah, I'm thinking about marrying Brittany. Anyway, one thing though is Dolores is talking about how she does not want to talk about moving anywhere or I guess getting married to her boyfriend Paul until he finalizes that divorce since he's been separated
and
for 10 years.
And it's so curious. All of this is happening at the same time where Frank going to marry someone else. And I don't care. Frank may love this woman, but Frank is not in love with that woman. Frank is in love with Dolores. And he got on his knee and him and Dolores know that was real. But she said yes, but she knew it was not. And he gonna say he ain't know how to do it. Bull crap. You already asked. I can't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it. If you see that lady, don't marry this man. Because the way it's going now with Paul, I don't know.
Yes.
Because Dolores is starting to talk. First, Dolores said she was glad to be away from my house. Now she's back to, I want to be in my house. Dolores.
Yeah, that is true.
First, you ain't want no parts of Frank. Now you allow him to propose. You ain't say, no, Frank, I can't do that. Why are you going to show another woman your wife? I can't with that.
Yes, and your 2 children
miss me over there with that. Over there. Because that's where I am. Miss me. I'm not in the crowd with that.
Yeah.
That bothered me.
And then Dolores even went back and told the rest of the cast about it. Anyway.
They are the most gossip.
They really are. They are the true definitions of housewives. And this is what you think of when you think of housewives.
I hope not.
I do.
I hope
not. However,
I was a housewife once and I didn't gossip. We stood off, stand up. They was like, don't be in my house, don't be in my business. I don't know. I haven't lived around snooty folks, so I don't know.
Yes. So one thing is moving on to the next scene. Melissa, Rachel, and Danielle. They had I guess a go-kart session with Kids Day to go hang out with their sons. And at this event, at this go-karting event, Danielle had asked Melissa because she only had a few tickets to invite to Fashion Week in New York, and she invited Melissa out of the entire cast because Melissa has been a supportive friend, especially out of most people. But she's not going to tell Teressa, though. She just told Teressa that it's only friends and family going.
Well, Teressa wouldn't care.
Yeah, no, Teressa wouldn't care. But I guess Danielle's trying to play cool with everybody.
Who is Danielle?
Bougie kids, blonde hair. Yes.
No. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, she's from New York.
It just seems so petty.
It is.
And right now, the one who I think is really standing up for herself is Jackie.
Yes. Go Jackie.
And you all can't tell me unless I'm missing it. Unless I'm missing something. You tell me that Melissa is not a gossiper and curry bones. Mm-hmm. Tell me that. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So, and Danielle we learned something else. Danielle not only doesn't talk to her brother, she doesn't talk to her father either, because he takes up for her brother's side, and so therefore there's a disconnect between them. But moving on, we have Margaret, and her mother had to have
that woman.
Her mom had to have esophagus surgery. And of course, Margaret was gossiping about Jackie and talking about how she doesn't understand why Jackie suddenly feels like Margaret doesn't defend her when that's all Margaret has done for her. And Jackie's like, there was a point in time, well, I mean, Jackie wasn't there, but Jackie's sentiment is, there was a point of time where I would have done anything and been a people pleaser, but now I'm standing up for myself.
She's tired of it.
Yes.
I want to pick my own friends, make my own decisions. Don't try to rope me into anything. Mm-hmm. I don't want no parts. I like Teressa, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, and that's right. That's how I would be. Don't try to rope me, trap me, trick me to like. No. But the only thing she thinks that Teressa and Jennifer, but they're not. Now, unless I'm not seeing it or they're not showing it, but the cameras are definitely showing Melissa.
Yes.
They are showing Rachel, and they showing what's that woman?
Margaret.
That's who they show.
It is those
you
three.
You don't see Teressa, Jennifer,
other Jennifer,
the two Jennifers,
yeah,
and Jackie, and
Danielle.
Danielle do a little bit.
Yeah, she's on the fence because she's still harping on last season of did you set me up or not?
And this Rachel character,
yeah, Rachel.
What's wrong with her? If your man was a drug dealer, he was a drug dealer. And when we sitting at the table, you're gonna say he worked in a parking lot and made $5 an hour. I understand what Teressa said. He would have been better off dealing drugs. He would. I get that.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, but that little session between Teressa and Rachel was at Danielle's bougie kids brunch to celebrate Fashion Week. But before we get there, Jennifer and Teressa were having curly hair. Jen was having facials.
I like Jennifer. Yes. I like that Jen. She's my fave. Her and Teressa, they're my favorite. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to like Jackie too. I'm liking Jackie a lot.
Yep. And the girls, having nice little facials, called up Jackie to try to, get the 411, I guess, and just figure out what's going on with everybody. And Jackie, I liked how she played it off nicely. She gave them just enough information without divulging too much. And then Teressa even show that they are on good terms again. She literally showed the camera following her on social media.
What I don't like is when Melissa and Jennifer went to lunch.
Yes. That's the next part.
How? They were cool.
They were.
And you left the table and went back, and really, to me, you embellished the truth.
She did.
Why? See, Melissa, this is not good.
Yep, you saw that. At least Jennifer, when you go back to watch this, you see exactly how Rachel treats you.
And even when they were sitting at the table, she never mentioned anything.
No.
She could have, but she didn't.
Yes.
And Melissa sat there and didn't say anything, but at the private with her girls, she dogged out Jennifer.
Yes.
I just think that's horrible.
It really is. And Jennifer, you need to stop trying to mend relationships.
Well, actually, Melissa came to her.
She did.
Melissa,
That's the wild part. Okay, that's all I gotta say for that one, because really I feel like that, and Melissa was fake that entire time because she just turned around and talked about Jennifer behind her
and this
back.
is just before that gathering.
Yes.
So,
and that literally shows
with
that
friends like that, who need enemies?
And that literally just shows you how Melissa and Margaret operate in
And the other
secret.
lady.
Yes, and Rachel, but
Really?
they all operate in secret and have their little one-on-one meetings before meeting with the cast, poisoning their little minds, and they're just like, okay, so this is what we know what's going on. We're gonna not talk to these people, we're gonna give attitude.
But the thing is, I guess when they filming, they don't know what they're going to keep
That
or
is
what
true.
they're not going to keep, because that doesn't make sense to me. You know, that right there don't make sense to me. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, especially because that's a lot. We're only getting snippets of these conversations that they have. So it
But
is.
the camera sees,
Yes, the
and
camera.
I have yet to see Teressa or any of them sit back and blackball the other girls. I haven't seen it. Now it could be off camera, but on camera I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it.
And that's what's important, is what we see.
And all this spewing hate,
Yes.
I don't like it.
I do not either.
I don't like it, because I find myself in flux watching this show. I found myself being angry, and who needs that emotion?
Yeah, you can see the division.
It's not. Somebody need to go.
Yes.
Go ahead, baby. Come.
Okay. Well, before we get to,
I mean, I know who needs to go.
who needs to go?
Rachel. Is her name Rachel?
So that's the one with the drug dealer.
Yes.
Yes,
She needs to go.
She does.
Somebody needs to go. And it isn't going to be Melissa. And clearly they don't want to let Margaret. She needs to go.
Yeah.
She's too angry, too bitter.
She is.
She is just too angry, too bitter. And I love what Teressa said. She's young. I'm not going to fool with her. And I'm glad, Teressa, you got up from the table and said, look, if you think I'm going to sit here and have a conversation open like this, no. She did a little bit. I can't.
Yeah,
it's like I can't, because they are so bent on trying to get their clique together.
They are.
And none of them girls can say that Teressa clickbait us. No. Teressa, let y'all do what you want to do. She may be where you want to be.
Yes.
Teressa said, I'm married and I'm happy. But I got to say this. When Jennifer and Melissa was sitting at the luncheon together, when they had that little private, did really Melissa say that you have a thing for my husband?
Yes, she did. That just shows you how big Melissa's head is.
Or insecure.
That too. You know what? You are so right, because that's exactly what she projected onto Jennifer. She was just like, now that I understand what you're insecure about, I'm going to try a little bit harder so that way we can, mend our friendship. I'm like, so you're the one insecure. Got it.
Insecure over what?
I guess her husband.
Is he a cheater, pumpkin eater? I don't know. I read on them another time, because I got to read on Teressa.
Now, one thing before we move on to the brunch, I have to say that I feel like Margaret is not over her ex-husband, because she is still mourning the loss of him a year later. And I'm not sure how long they were separated, but this is not.
Margaret has been married to the man she's married with for years.
Okay, sounds like you had some unresolved love that he was harboring inside of you, and now that he's dead, you're just like crying because you can't, I guess, get him back. But she talks about it's for the kids and the family dynamic. I can't relate.
I really, out of all the housewives ever, Margaret is the one that really irks me. I really, I go out a room when she comes, I turn off, I literally, I don't even know, I can't even with her. I can't even with her, I can't even with her. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Right, so the last few things we have to talk about is really at this, I mean, we've talked about the,
You can go more in depth, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So because Danielle only has a few amount of people she can invite and she can't invite the whole cast, she decided to have a brunch to celebrate instead. So one thing I noticed is that whenever Teressa happens to walk into the room, the camera just happens to conveniently catch Melissa doing an eye roll and giving some type of attitude. Yeah, for real.
Hate.
Mm-hmm.
And you can blame Teressa all you want, but that hate is coming from you, Melissa.
Yes.
And now that the cameras and now that y'all are separated, we see where all the drama is.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa.
Yes.
And if it was Teressa, I would say Teressa.
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't Teressa.
No.
Teressa ain't trying to get nobody in her clique.
Nope.
They come on their own.
Mm-hmm.
That Margaret character, though, ooh, I think if you delete Margaret, I think the young girl, because I love the way Teressa handled her, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't with you, you're a child.
Yeah, but then goes Dolores stirring up some drama saying Teresa's gonna calm down and cool off and rest on this, but next time she sees you, Rachel, hell's gonna break loose.
I hope not, because Margaret two-faced. She two-faced.
Yeah.
Give me Jen as a friend any day.
Yes.
She wasn't there today. She wasn't at the luncheon. The Jewish Jen.
Oh.
She wasn't there, her or Margaret.
Well, we had already known that Margaret wasn't going to show up.
Of course, because she spent that thing, and that's what Teressa said. Margaret put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. Margaret, they are a gossiping bunch. Mm-hmm. But I can truly say Teresa's not doing it. Unless they're not showing it, Teresa's not doing this. She's not. Her or Jennifer. Yep. And I think that, but the thing is, the thing that Melissa, she act like Jennifer's not going to see this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
She really is. And then mocked Jennifer, because it's a running joke that Jennifer mocks people by just embellishing their accents. But she's like, I'm theatrical. That's just what I do.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Y'all just trying to pick at something.
Yeah, I do that.
Mm-hmm. I totally get it. It really enhances the story. Mm-hmm. Especially if you can impersonate them pretty good. Chef's kiss.
But I didn't think she did a good Jennifer.
No.
I didn't. And I don't know if I listen to when Jennifer does it, but I definitely didn't think she did a good Jennifer. Not to me. Gotta look at it again.
Yeah. I think maybe Jennifer was kind of okay in trying to get down Danielle's New York accent. But one thing though is Danielle is starting to side-eye Teressa, because she was just like, you had somebody at your house and they were talking about me because it was somebody.
Grow up.
Yes.
You're old, but stop. Grow the hell up. Cause this don't make good TV. A bunch of women with money sitting around. All you gotta do is just bicker and fight over foolery.
Yeah,
foolery. Mm-hmm. Things that don't even matter. I can't.
No, at least not what they are talking about.
Mm-mm. It's sad. It's ridiculous. I feel like Jackie. It is ridiculous.
Yes,
it's ridiculous.
It honestly is
stupid. Mm-hmm. It is the most stupidest, this argument or whatever, this is between Teressa and Melissa and their Teressa family.
Oh, yes.
It has nothing to do with anybody else.
No.
And I can't.
Yes. Just because y'all run the same clique doesn't mean you have to bring your literal family drama to your friend groups. That's just a life lesson for anybody, not just these housewives. But I think that was pretty much it for this episode because it really just came down to Danielle's brunch for Fashion Week because Danielle is stressing out. Can't wait to see her Fashion Week next week.
Well, what I can't wait to see is the conversation that Dolores is going to have with Paul.
Oh, yes.
That's what I want to see.
That'll also be good.
Other than that, I love the fact that Teressa got up.
She did.
From the table.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I don't think she ate, did she? She could have.
She could have.
Because, they could have been there. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she said she had to go and to our daughter's game and stuff, Melissa's like, what? I can't.
Yes.
I can understand you don't like somebody, but God, Melissa, chill.
Yeah, for real.
Oof. Well, anyway,
yes.
Teressa and her husband.
Yes. Scriber's name.
That's why we went through it pretty fast because I really want to put this reading in. So someone wanted a reading on this. Here we go. Was
Teressa and Louie.
Are they, what is the word? Compatible, good for each other, right for each other?
Okay. I was gonna say happy.
Are they, well, I'm not gonna ask happy.
Okay.
Happy is a fleeting moment. But are they
compatible?
Are they right for each other?
Okay.
Or are they good for each other? Are they happy? What are they? I don't know. So that's a female. So I see that as Teressa. And when I see the King of Cups, I think she's about family. She's about love. She's just seems like she's isolating herself from a lot of the drama. I see her as a family, and I see her and Louie. I see that they are definitely working. They got money, and I see that they seem happy. I see that this is like a family, a card. It's like she's about her family.
I could believe that.
And Louie is about the family because you could see that he's there for Teressa, right?
Yeah.
And in that, what is that?
Mercury.
So Mercury, and tell me about Mercury, and that has to be, I can't see these little things. Virgo. Tell me, Virgo is about the home. That's the 5th house, right?
6th house.
The 6th house. Tell me about it.
It's all about maintaining a maintenance, and that is very good because Mercury is actually home in Virgo, and it's all about how, I guess, he organizes or helps the family unit to get it, like, I guess.
And I think since he's been in her life, she has calmed down a lot. And it is a big difference since she was married to Joe. Was it Joe?
Yes.
Joe. It's a big difference. She seemed more at ease. Teressa just seemed different to me.
Yeah, she does. She seems so bothered.
If they have a block, there is a block. That it is there. And let's see, to my hand, it just seemed like it's a lot of people that seem like they trying to start confusion in their marriage. You see that? And that's the block for me. The block is, it just seems like people don't believe he's real. People don't believe that this is real, that they really starting a family unit and that he's good for her. If the cards are showing here, as you can see, people are against it. People don't think it's real. They don't think it's authentic. On her other hand, I like to do the other hand. On the right hand, he's a man of substance. He's a man of money, of wealth. And people don't believe that. People believe whatever they want to believe on top. So what is the thing that is it good or bad? What's above her? Teressa living a vida loca. There it is. You see that she's earthy. They got money. They live in comfortably. They live in wealthy. They live wealthy lives. If not wealthy, then rich. So I don't like the word rich because rich is an understatement. I think he got money, and the cards are showing he's a rich man, and that he's earthy, and that he's grounded, and it shows that he is his feelings and how he is. It seems like you see, it's really a lot of money around these people, and they know how to make money, and it just seems like to me this man got money. And if he don't, he know how to make money. Because I don't know how many times people thought he ain't had no money. The cards are showing this is a rich man. He has money.
Yeah.
The bottom is the Fool. I want to hear your reading when I'm done, okay?
Okay.
You want to take a stab?
About the Fool?
About all of it. Just with your take on it. You want to try?
Sure.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I can.
Okay, so here we have the Fool. And when you think of the Fool, that's carefree. The Fool is about minding their business or trying to keep it about family and love and just keeping it going. It's not about all this drama. The Fool is about, hey, this is a new start and I'm walking in it with my heart open, my eyes open. I'm not looking for nothing. Danger is below me, but I'm just walking in this thing because I'm just filled with energy and a moving forward and a new beginning and a new start. And right now they still in honeymoon fever.
Yeah.
You understand? This seems a beautiful couple, but they have people that's trying to come up against their marriage with deceitfulness.
Yeah.
With deceit.
And it's hard.
With darkness,
they happy and enjoy it.
It's you just gotta separate yourself from it because it's some people around. This is the block, and here is this. It's people on the heart. People are trying to be deceitful, trying to make it bad. They are, and it's good that they can keep a happy disposition and ride it. And that's why it made me feel good when Teressa said, I don't want to talk about this here alone. Yeah, that's the way you do it.
Yes.
She did a little bit, but she got up from the table. Just for TV. Got up. I don't want to be bothered. And you know what? When you're happy, you don't want nobody to bring you down to their misery.
No.
Go ahead, baby. You want to try?
Your shirt is blue in real life, but it comes off like a lavender, or maybe even what people will call a periwinkle.
Yeah, I like the color, the name periwinkle.
It is a nice name. You're welcome. So, did you hold up the Queen of Cups?
And this is Teressa. She happy, emotionally, and about her family and love. And she just living a vida loca. She happy.
And you know what? That is interesting because Cups is water, and the moon came out. I do like how you said that she is trying to control the situation and the environment around her in order to make it more pleasant for her in that sense, because who wants to be weighed down by their emotions or other people's emotions?
Of other people that don't want them to be happy.
And just like she's a queen, he's a king. So together they
money.
And both earth and water are
and this is the hand of work. So he's there to work and help and make this marriage work. He loves Teressa.
Yeah.
He her right hand. He loved her right arm, her right side. He loved Teressa. And Teressa is in love with Louie. The cards are showing it. And it shows they have money. I already see 1, 2, 3. 3 pentacles. And this is everybody else trying to start friction in their marriage. Go ahead.
Yes, and because earth and water are both feminine, that shows how they are connected in one as a family union. That's
family.
So
you see family, children, dog, grandma. You just see a family unit, not necessarily grandma and grandpa, but you just see a family unit.
It's their own family unit. And the Fool underneath represents the
new
true
beginning.
energy.
Sorry, baby, phone. Go ahead.
It represents their energy in this relationship. They just feel like they are taking a journey together.
Yes. A new beginning. They just jumping off, forgetting all what the naysayers say, and they just living their life.
As you should.
And
you know what
do you make of this? The heart, they got enemies.
Yes, honestly, if you guys have not seen my 2-minute tarot reading that I did today, this is almost exactly the same sentiment that I read off. So I think I read off for Louie and Teressa.
Well, tell me about it because I didn't see it.
Oh, it was about how it was a commitment because there was a ring that had came out, and and this commitment was met by an obstacle, but then also the public's eye. And my advice to that was, because I had the scythe that came out, which happens to be a sword, and I said, I said maybe like, basically, if you're happy in this situation, you felt like if you couldn't share your happiness with other people in your surrounding, then maybe you should cut those people out.
And just keep living your happy.
Yes.
If people coming up against your happy, walk away.
Mm-hmm.
However, I understand they got to film together.
Yes.
Now, I do appreciate Melissa is showing up for filming.
Yes.
However, but the eye rolling, that's just so off. But anyway, go ahead, baby Carl.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the sentiment that I have for them.
So you don't see anything negative?
Nope, not at all. The only negative card is the moon, but Teressa got that covered because she's the Queen of Cups.
Right. Love that, baby.
Thank you.
And you see where the moon coming from, outside forces, somebody trying to start a lot of friction, trying to get away with a whole lot of division. Mm-hmm. But their marriage is tight.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to be able to break it.
Yes, one last thing. Pass me the king, queen, and the swords.
The king, the queen, and the swords. There we go.
Yes. Because if you look at where everybody's facing, if this cups is Teressa, she's focused on the naysayers. But her husband is right
looking
behind
us, looking at
it got her back, basically.
Got her back and looking at everything around her. Yes. And look at the thief right there looking back.
Mm-hmm.
At a lot of confusion.
Like, did we break them up yet?
You know who that is to me?
Melissa.
No.
Rachel.
No.
Margaret.
No. I think that I'm really sad to see Melissa in this place.
Okay.
I'm sad because no matter what, y'all still family.
Yes.
And being mad for when you bringing in other people to be mad, and when your sister-in-law walk in the room, you can't stand it. You need to question, why are you doing the show outside of money?
Yes.
You have a store. Your husband make a lot of money. Why are you doing? I don't understand it.
Yeah, and for real, honestly, I'm not sure if she's saying Teressa just because she hates Teressa, or if she's saying Teressa for her husband.
And the thing is, I'm really being objective. I really don't see anything. So let me ask, is Teressa happy?
Okay.
We see this. Wait a minute. That don't mean nothing. I can see right now what's going on. And temperance. What I do think, I think that all the friction and all the fighting and the gossiping, I think it's weighing on Teressa.
Okay.
I think, but there her knight in shining armor, right there, like right all up in her head. Right here, you see he is the pentacle for her. Here, he is the white and shining armor. It's like he's like dashing in without a thought. I'm going to take care of my baby. How do I know? Because you see temperance here is saying he's there to balance it. So if I switch the cards around, you'll see he's coming in. Mm-hmm. He's coming in because he sees. See, how can you not? I mean, I know when she left that meeting, she had to be stressed.
Yes.
You know, but she knew enough to get up and walk away.
Yes.
And that's the way to be. And she didn't even want to, and the girl calling her all out her name. Yes. It don't need to be all that.
It does.
But the Lord, she shouldn't have just instigated it.
Yeah.
Just stop.
She said, sleep with one eye open.
And you're supposed to support me? What you make out of that?
Yeah, that definitely wasn't a supportive friend.
That's not a supportive friend at all.
No, that's actually somebody egging it on.
Egging it. There it is.
But yes, what I see is that Teressa is stressed out by what people say.
I think it stresses her out.
And honestly, especially because she's filming the show too, it's kind of like a la situation. I need you to care about my part and position in this filming and not think about yourself. And then we have the balance card showing that Teressa finds the balance
because of Louie.
Yes, because Louie is there to dash in and be like, hey, Don't pay attention to all that. Remember
Walk
what
away.
we have.
Remember what we have. Walk away. Get up. Don't feed into it. Don't let him. Louie is about that. What sign is Louie?
Okay, let me see if I can find that out because I don't
And what
know.
sign is Teressa? Because I know that this stresses, anybody would be stressed going through this. Baby Crone, you have a question that the audience might want
Yes,
to know.
I want to know how does Teressa really feel about Melissa? Sorry to bring her in. No wonder. Teressa is a Taurus. Yeah, she would definitely get weighed down by what people have to say. And her husband.
Teresa's a Taurus?
They're both Tauruses. Oh, isn't that nice?
That's it. That's it. They cancel each other and they balance each other. Like they cancel out the negative with each other because they birth earth. They get it.
Mm-hmm.
They earth. And one that they material. And if you know anything about Taurus, really good Tauruses, they are about earthly things and possession. You ain't going, I'm not saying there ain't no broke Taurus, but a true good Taurus is a hard worker. They are hard worker and they are about money.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
And also, I think they well round each other out because one's an early Taurus and one's a late Taurus.
What's your question?
How does Teressa feel about Melissa?
Melissa stresses out the fire in Teressa. I think that Teressa just tries to throw caution to the wind and try to not look at all the drama that comes with Melissa and her brother. I think she's finally making peace. What my brother and I probably ain't never gonna walk them, and it's a good idea because Joe is a poor example, in my opinion, of a brother.
Yes.
Why? Because he feeds into a lot of stuff.
He does.
He's so feminine to me when it comes down to things like that. This is my opinion. As the cards say, I definitely see here in the middle where I see Louie. I see Louie is the Hierophant, the reasonable one, the reasonable, the one that comes up with understanding how to handle it, the one that tries to be the conformist, the one who tries to keep the peace and keep Teressa grounded and not letting her blow her top is what Dolores is telling her, you know.
Yeah.
I think that he doesn't want Teressa to be that Teressa. And I think he worked on it. And when it comes down to Melissa's on the show because of the fame and the money. They all are. But this is why, because this card shows up. And on top of it there is a part of Melissa probably where she wants to leave. But because of who's on the show, this is for show, this is for money, because right now you see temperance. And clearly, this is the ace. So material thing, Melissa's doing very well financially. So she's on this, if she lost this show, she ain't going to lose no sleep.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? So she's doing very, very well. And last, is this marriage with Teressa and Louie going last?
I like that.
I see the Hermit. I see what that means already. And last. All high cards. In other words, they're going through a lot. They go through a lot and they probably will continue. But they have to separate themselves from the madness, from the outside crowd. If they want to make it, this is Teressa. She's going to have to learn to separate herself.
Yeah.
She's going to have to learn to separate herself from the madness, from all the drama. And when it comes down to Louie is the one who's the strength. He comes with inner strength to look at the inner parts, to teach her how to handle her anger and get her into therapy, because she was taking therapy I don't know if it was last season, but I know that she's trying to deal with it. And Louie is inspiration of that, because he's trying to keep her calm. Don't get into the fray. Don't allow them to bring you down. And you see, because he's like the Pope or a very religious leader, just somebody who's saying, look, conform to goodness. Don't allow yourself to become wicked. And here I see justice. And when I see this justice showed me they're gonna be okay. that it's okay, their marriage gonna be all right. It may go through this show, but when the show isn't, it shows that this justice says they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be good.
Yeah, I believe that.
Is there anything you want to say?
In solidarity, they stand strong.
They stand strong. This is what it says. Keeping out the outsiders. Louie is strong in his marriage. I like Louie. Is there a Louie for me? And here you see here, justice. What does it mean? It means they're gonna be all right. That means whatever's going on, they ain't gonna win. As long as she listens to Louie, and as long as Louie don't lose focus,
right,
they're gonna be fine.
And
because he's Taurus, he's solid, he's strong. And remember, Taurus is the bull. What that mean? He got horns. So therefore, you know what a bull does in a bull ring. So he's a bull, and he doesn't, and he ain't got a problem with drawing blood. But you know, it takes a lot for him to get rubbed up and riled up, and he's really trying to chill Teressa from that. So I am so happy to see Teressa walking away, not being petty. And I love the way Teressa handled Rachel at the table. I loved it. I saw her getting rubbed up, but she got up and left.
And she said, "Don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear." And you don't want to. This woman flip tables. And what I'm saying is, no matter how much therapy and she's doing it, that's in her, and she's trying to tame the savage beast inside of herself, because that's what her husband wants from her. Her husband Louie don't want her out there acting like a jackass. He doesn't want it. And so she's trying her best. And as long as she stays focused, look at your husband as the guiding light, Teressa, and your marriage will stand. Don't allow those people that, I don't know. I'm going to have to read on Joe and Melissa. Remind me next week. Because I don't understand why she thinks that Jennifer wants Joe. But Joe is Teresa's brother.
Yes.
And if you can't make peace over this woman's wedding, who have a right to invite anybody who she wants, that's her day.
Yeah.
She owe nobody nothing. That's her moment. And who she wants there should have been all right with you. But I don't understand that kind of love. But whatever it is, I get it. Whatever that love is, I don't need it, and I don't want it. Keep it. And that's how I feel about that. Because I feel as though on your wedding day, it's about you. It ain't about your brother. It's certainly not about your brother's wife family.
Yes.
That's a tongue twister. So this was out of pocket, out of line. These are my opinions. But the reading says they're going to be fine. Good. Because Louie is the stable one in this relationship. But don't underestimate Louie, because Louie can become impulsive and he can do things and maybe say, "Oh, I'm sorry." So don't poke him either.
Yes.
Don't poke Louie, and don't poke Teressa, because he's really trying to really man up and be the man of a marriage. And I'm telling you, and I don't know why people think they don't have money. The cards are showing they have money. And so does Melissa. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So we plan on reading on to Melissa next week.
Yes.
But this overall reading, I hope you enjoyed it. As you see, nothing showed up. They're just going to have to keep the outside world out of their marriage. Let the show be the show. And when we home, we talk about it. Don't bring that stuff here and let it linger. Go ahead.
I was going to say next week, could you read on Paul and Dolores? Because that's when they're
Most
supposed to have their
definitely.
talk. So Joe and Melissa's going to have to go next.
Okay, so we'll read on Paul
and Dolores.
We'll read on them next week. All right. And with that being said, did you enjoy this?
Yes, I did.
Did you enjoy this reading?
Yes, I did.
Do you want to add anything?
It sure definitely did surprise me, because you did ask me this before we got on camera. If you think that if Louie was like, the the best I can say, I'm paraphrasing, is like soft towards Teressa. And I was like, by his appearance, I feel like he's not tender at all. But
What do you mean?
Because he
right. We was having a conversation. You think that he was what?
Not tender. He
Oh,
be like
God.
standoffish and cold.
No.
That's how he appears, but the cards say otherwise.
And now that you know he's a Taurus.
Yes,
And
now
you
I
are a
understand.
Taurus, so you should understand him pretty good.
Yes.
He'll fight if you poke him.
Mm-hmm.
And people underestimate Louie. Don't underestimate him.
Yeah.
He don't have muscles for nothing.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I really enjoyed this reading. I hope you did too. And with that being said, you have anything you want to say?
No, that was good.
Okay.
Sunflowers.